Welcome to the one-stop shop for all of the Shark XYZ combos you'll need to know to play the deck at a high competitive level. Quick note before we get started, I'm recording this in March 2025, and right now Abyss Dweller is at 3 and Totally Awesome is at 3. If you're watching this and Abyss Dweller is banned, the combos still work. If you're watching this and Totally Awesome is at 1 or more, these combos still work. If Toad is banned, I'll probably redo the video. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started with combo number 1. Okay, so the first combo we're going to go over is the basic one-card Buzzsaw Shark combo, where the only card in hand is going to be Buzzsaw Shark, and that's all you need to start playing. So we're going to normal summon that Buzzsaw and activate its effect, targeting itself. That's going to allow us to summon out any level 4 shark or fish from the deck. And we're going to summon out our Surfacing Big Jaws. So these are generally the two cards that we want to have involved in as many of our combos or plays as possible. And that's because they get the most done for us. They're each a +1 on their own. But right now, when we summon out the Surfacing Big Jaws, we cannot use its effect because Buzzsaw Shark says so. So what we have to do is get this to the graveyard and then get it back to our hand and then summon it out again, and then we'll be able to use Big Jaws. So right now it's negated. We're going to go ahead and just overlay these guys for a Bahamut Shark. Detach from the Bahamut Shark the Surfacing Big Jaws to summon out a copy of Lavirtue Dragon. Now, you might be wondering, hey, where's it Totally Awesome? Well, we don't get that right away. In this particular combo, in the one-card combo, we do need Lavirtue to add back the Big Jaws. If we were to go to Toad, we'll see a very similar combo later on where we don't have access to more stuff, where we would go into Toad here, but to get the full combo, we're going to go for the Lavirtue. We're going to add back that Big Jaws for later. Now we're going to go ahead and activate Lavirtue on summon to search our Virtue Stream, which is an Icarus attack, basically, for fish. Then we're going to go ahead and overlay on top of our Bahamut Shark our Xyz Armor Fortress and put it up there. We're going to go ahead and detach 2 to search our full armored Xyz and equip card. These are the two armored XYZ cards that I'm choosing to play. Now, note, we're gonna point this out here, and it's gonna apply for the rest of the video. Basically, if we draw one of these cards in hand, full armored or the equip spell, that means that we cannot detach 2 from Xyz Armor Fortress, which could be a problem, but fear not. Whenever we do that, we can just use Lavirtue to detach the final material from Armor Fortress to clear it of material. Why do we want to do that? Well, that's because Armor Fortress says it cannot be used as Xyz material unless it has no more materials underneath it. So we need to clear out all of its materials, and therefore Lavirtue is going to be a really nice tool to do that, because Lavirtue can detach from any of your monsters, not just itself. Anyway, back to the combo. We have searched all of our spells and traps in Engine so far. Now we're going to go ahead and overlay on top of the Armored Fortress. We're going to overlay the Crystal Zero Lancer. And that's because we need a material on the field somewhere to use our Lavirtue Dragon. Now we're going to detach that Armored Fortress, and it's going to add back our Surfacing Big Jaws, which we can special summon out if we've used a spell card this turn. Luckily, we've searched a spell card. We're going to activate that equip spell. It doesn't matter what we equip it to, but the important thing is we activate it, and now we can special summon our Surfacing Big Jaws, and now we're free to use its effect, which we're going to do and add Abyss Shark here. There's quite a few options you can grab. Probably Abyss Shark, Hydrojet Shark, or Drake Shark are your best options, but we're going to go for Abyss because it's going to give us the extra body in this combo. And in this combo, it's going to be of value to us. So we're going to go Abyss Shark, summon out. Now we're going to search the Hydrojet Shark anyway. Special summon that guy out. We're going to use that Hydrojet to dump the Crystal Shark. Now, remember that Hydrojet can either dump or search the Revive spell. Generally, I like to dump first, and then the next turn, you'll have both Crystal Shark and the search for the Revive spell as follow-up. Whereas if we just use the Revive spell search right away, we're going to miss out on the Crystal Shark in the next turn for follow-up. So this is much better for follow-up to dump Crystal Shark first. And in this case, it doesn't matter whether we go Crystal or for the Revive spell. Anyway, overlay now for our second Bahamut Shark, and now we can make our Totally Awesome right there by detaching either of the materials. It doesn't matter. Now we can go Crystal Shark, summon itself back out, targeting whichever of these we want to have their attack. I'll probably just target the Abyss Shark here. And now we can overlay it for the number 4 Stealth Kraken. Yeah, these are 2 level 5s, but both of them have the effect to be treated as a level 3 or 4 monster when summoning a number Xyz monster. So we're just going to go ahead and summon out number 4 Stealth Kraken there. Okay, and now we can go ahead and set our 2 trap cards. On our opponent's turn, we're going to flip that full armored XYZ and then overlay our full armored Dark Knight Lancer on top. This trap card will go to the graveyard, and then at any time we can banish it to equip something to our full armored, and then we'll have a steal of our opponent's monster. We also have a totally awesome negate. We have a Stealth Kraken pop, and we have a double Virtue Stream pop. Probably going to pop this LaVirtue or the Bahamut Shark, whichever one we feel like. In addition, we have Hydrojet in the graveyard for follow-up to search the equip spell, the Monster Reborn spell, and then whenever we get the Stealth Kraken to the graveyard, our Crystal Shark will come back, or will be able to be used again. So that's all pretty sweet, and a pretty solid board for 1 card. The next combo we're going to look at is the 1 card Surfacing Big Jaws combo, where we have to normal summon the Big Jaws. Ideally, we have a spell card to activate to be able to special summon this Big Jaws. We're going to go through that in one of the next combos in this video, but right now we're going to look at the situation where we have to normal summon this guy. What can we do with that? So let's go ahead and normal summon our Surfacing Big Jaws. We're going to search out our Abyss Shark, which we can just use right away. Special summoning that out, and then searching the Drake Shark, which will use its effect to summon out the Drake Shark as well. Now we're going to overlay for our classic Bahamut Shark here, detach that Drake Shark, and then special out the Toad. So that's on summon 5. We're playing around Nib. Very nice. Xyz Armor Fortress, detach 2 to search our 2, our spell and our trap card here. And then we're going to go ahead and overlay for our Crystal Zero Lancer as well, setting our trap card. So our end board is going to be fairly simple. It's just going to be the trap card flipping up to summon the full armor Dark Knight Lancer, and then we're also going to have a totally awesome negate on top of that as well. And that's basically going to be it. That's all we can really get with a normal summon of the Surfacing Big Jaws. But I do have one more variation that we can look at really quick to see what other alternate board we can do. Okay, for the other option you can do, if you normal Big Jaws, we can just keep playing, kind of similar to what we just did before. We can go ahead and get that Abyss Shark. We can search for Hydrojet Shark this time. And now we can go ahead and overlay these guys for a Valiant Shark Lancer, because Surfacing Big Jaws lets you do that. Use it, treat it as a level 5. We're going to go ahead and special out that Hydrojet Shark, Foolish our Crystal Shark down to the graveyard, and then we can bring that back by having our Hydrojet Sharks attack and then overlay for a Stealth Kraken. Now, why would you do that over the board that we just looked at? Well, basically we're going to have Crystal Shark and Hydrojet Shark as follow-up, so this one's a little bit stronger for follow-up. It's just 2 pops instead of a steal and a negate. The other one's probably better, but I do want to show you that this one is possible. Okay, in this combo, we're going to take a look at what happens if we have something like Ready Fusion plus Surfacing Big Jaws, which is a pretty common combo to have, or it's kind of what we're building for when we're playing Ready Fusion in the deck, because it's a spell card we can freely activate. It'll get us a body, and we'll be able to special out our Surfacing Big Jaws as well. So we're going to go ahead and activate that Ready Fusion, summon out the Rare Fish, special summon the Big Jaws, search out the Buzzsaw Shark as a normal summon. And now we're going to go ahead and overlay for our Bahamut Shark as well, detaching that Surfacing Big Jaws, summoning out the Toad, and now we've played around Nib. We can go ahead and make the Xyz Armor Fortress as well, searching out our 2 XYZ Armored cards. And now we're free to normal summon. We're going to summon the Buzzsaw, use its effect, target itself, and bring out the Hydrojet Shark in this particular case. Overlay for a second Bahamut Shark, detaching that Hydrojet Shark, summoning out the LaVirtue Dragon. LaVirtue is going to search us our Virtue Stream, and then LaVirtue is going to detach from our Bahamut Shark as well that Buzzsaw Shark, and then we're going to add back the Hydrojet Shark, which we can now special summon using its own effect. Hydrojet is going to be able to Foolish down that Crystal Shark, and then we can go ahead and use that Crystal Shark, having our Hydrojet Sharks attack, overlaying them both for Stealth Kraken. And that basically wraps it up. We have a Virtue Stream, we have the full armored Xyz available, And then we're going to go ahead and overlay for the Dark Knight Lancer, and we can send that Full Armored XYZ so that we can overlay our Full Armored Utopic Ray Lancer on top. The reason we're doing that is just so we can get this trap card to the graveyard somehow. The alternate is just overlaying the Crystal Zero on top of the Armored Fortress and setting the trap card, but I'd rather have it just set up already, and this thing subtracts 500 attack from all of your opponents, so you might as well use it, right? So that's the goal here. So yeah, this is all off of a Ready Fusion plus a Big Jaws, and we have a little bit of follow-up, but not a whole lot. We're going to have Crystal Shark and Hydrojet Shark in the graveyard whenever that happens, whenever Stealth Kraken goes away. There's no way to detach those materials right now, but yeah, we are going to have a little bit of follow-up when that comes. Okay, now let's take a look at what happens when we open both of our best starters at the same time. They're both at 3. They're searchable if you're playing Galaxy Tachyon, or what is it, 7th Tachyon. So this is not that uncommon. We're going to go ahead and start off with our normal summon Buzzsaw Shark, activate its effect, targeting itself, summoning out that XYZ Remora. We know we go for Remora generally when we have 2 level 4s in play, like right away, because Remora is going to have to bring back 2 level 4s, so we want to make sure we have those available before going for the Remora. Otherwise, you generally go for the Hydrojet. Okay, we overlay for the Bahamut Shark. We're going to summon out that Toad right away because it's totally fine. We're going to go ahead and overlay for RXC's Armor Fortress Detach 2 to search our 2 cards, as is normal. Then we can go ahead and activate that Equip spell. I guess not yet. We're going to make Crystal Zero first, and then the Dark Knight Lancer, and then we're going to use Dark Knight Lancer before we go through the Equip spell thing. We're going to use Dark Knight Lancer to add back that XYZ Remora just to get it to our hand ASAP. The reason we summon this Crystal Zero Lancer first is so we have 2 materials to detach for Remora whenever we're ready to summon that thing. But first we're going to go ahead and activate the spell card so we can special summon the Big Jaws. Big Jaws is going to search us Hydrojet Shark, which is our last major extender, and we can go ahead and special summon the Hydrojet Shark here. Use its effect to send down Crystal Shark as well. We're going to overlay these guys for a Dweller. Okay, we want to make the Dweller now so we have 3 main monster zones available for our XC's Remora play. If you make Bahamut Shark here first and then detach to summon Toad or LaVirtue, then our zones are all full and we're not allowed to use the Remora anymore, or we can't get the full value. So we're going to make the Dweller. We have to use the Dweller right here. We have to detach specifically the Surfacing Big Jaws because Hydrojet Shark cannot be special summoned anymore this turn because of its own effect. So we detach the Surfacing Big Jaws. We have to do that so we have 2 level 4 fishes in the grave at the same time, so our Remora can summon them back. Alternatively, we don't use the Dweller, we just Remora, detach one of those materials from the Dweller, but we might as well go ahead and just activate the Dweller just in case our opponent has something weird. We're going to detach 2 materials from our full armored Dark Knight Lancer to summon the Remora, and then Remora on summon will be able to summon back 2 level 4 fish from our grave. Their effects are negated, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and overlay for a Bahamut Shark here, and then we're going to use our Crystal Shark before we use our Bahamut Shark. This is key because we will run out of zones otherwise. We're going to use our Crystal Shark, bring it back. We can half the attack of Big Jaws, that's fine. And then we can overlay these 2 guys for a number 4 Stealth Kraken. And now, after all that's done, we can use our Bahamut Shark Detach 1 to summon out our LaVirtue. You can go for a second Toad if you prefer. I like the LaVirtue. I like to have a Toad plus the Virtue Stream trap card if we're playing it. Maybe if it's like post side and we side it out or something, we can just go for the second Toad, that's fine. You know, assuming Toad's still at 2 when you're watching this, but anyway. We're going to go ahead and use that LaVirtue, search the trap card, and then LaVirtue we're going to use again to add back some follow-up from the graveyard. I guess Buzzsaw Shark is the best option in this particular case. So, yeah, that's basically it for the end board, which is pretty good. We have to discard that Full Armored XYZ trap card to summon out our Utopic Ray Lancer so we can get that trap card in the graveyard somehow to have our Dark Knight Lancer active. So, our end board is Dark Knight Lancer plus Toad plus Dweller plus this thing making all of our opponent's monsters small. This thing makes all of our monsters big, by increased by 500. Stealth Kraken to pop 1 monster and make everything water attribute. We got the double pop, and then we have 3 other cards in hand that we didn't use for the combo. So that's pretty insane end board for having our 2 best starters. It's a 2-card combo right here, and both of those are searchable with the 7th Tachyon card. Pretty nice. Pretty sweet end board. Good luck breaking that without too much help. Right, so yeah, let's go ahead now on to our next combo. Okay, sometimes you don't open the best, and sometimes your hand looks something like this. We have Purulia plus Abyss Shark, which is kind of ridiculous, but hey, Purulia, I just want to remind you, is a water that we can just normal summon, and sometimes that's what we gotta do. So we're gonna go ahead and see what we can get with just Purulia plus Abyss Shark. We're gonna normal summon that Purulia, of course, special the Abyss Shark, and Abyss Shark will search us our Surfacing Big Jaws, which is like, what? We don't have any spells. How are we gonna get there? Watch and learn. We can go ahead and overlay straight for a Stealth Kraken with these 2 monsters, right? And then we can overlay RXC's Armor Fortress on top. Now we can use that effect to detach 2, to search 2, including our trap and our spell card. Now we have to figure out how to get this last material off so we can go up into our Dark Knight Lancer. I'll show you how we're going to do that in a second. We have our equip spell, activate it, equip it to RXC's Armor Fortress, special summon out our Big Jaws, which can search out our Hydrojet Shark here. We're going to go for Hydrojet instead of, well, we already used Abyss Shark, and we're going to go for this instead of Drake Shark, because Hydrojet is also an extender, but it also provides 1 more body. So we're going to go ahead and use that, special summon out our Hydrojet, and then we can Foolish down our Crystal Shark as usual. We're going to now overlay for our Bahamut. Bahamut is going to detach our Big Jaws. It doesn't matter which one you detach, but now we're going to go for our Lavirtue Dragon. Lavirtue Dragon is going to detach from our Armored Fortress and then be able to add back that Surfacing Big Jaws for follow-up. And then we forgot to do that, but we are also going to add the Virtue Stream when we summon the Lavirtue Dragon here. So yeah, we have the Full Armor Dark Knight Lancer once we flip this trap card on our opponent's turn, and then we also have the Virtue Stream. There we go. We found it. So yeah, this is Purulia plus Abyss Shark is going to get us a double pop, a steal, and some follow-up, which is okay. Not terrible, but, you know, we have Crystal as follow-up. We are going to have Hydrojet as follow-up to search the Revive. And then because we get the Revive, we have Surfacing Big Jaws live as follow-up as well. So it's actually really strong follow-up, and it's not terrible, just for like a hand trap plus an extender. But yeah. You know, I like to look at the combos, so, you know, even if you don't have a God Hand, you can still use what's available to you to actually make a solid board, so it's important to go over those kind of situations. So that was my goal for this one. Now, you thought we didn't have anything in that last combo. Now we have even less. Just Purulia and Silent Sea Nettle, which is just our level 4 extender. It doesn't do anything for us in particular. Let's see what we can do if we can just make a rank 4, which is not a whole lot, to be honest, but hey, it's pretty good still. We have Bahamut Shark here, detach 1 to summon out our Toad, and then we're going to go ahead and overlay for RXC's Armor Fortress, detach 2 to search our spell card and our Full Armored XYZ, and that basically is going to get us into the Full Armored Dark Knight Lancer on top with its trap card in the graveyard. So even with just Purulia and 1 level 4 extender like Ready Fusion or Silent Sea Nettle or whatever, we can still get a Toad Negate plus a Monster Steal from our opponent's side. That's not awful, right? So it's important to know like exactly what to do in that situation. Hope you all found those combos useful. Let me know if there's any other combos that you want me to go over in the comments section down below, or if you would have done any of those combos a little bit different, let me know as well. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. I'll be doing a little bit more short content in the coming few days, so if you're looking forward to that, hit subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. We'll see you soon.